Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Jack, and I just started out on my filmmaking journey. So if you haven't seen my first video yet, go ahead and check it out. It'll be linked right here and also in the description below. Go watch that video first so you know what's going on, and then you can swing back over here. So for today's video, you know how golfers are always doing those what's in the bag videos where they show off their clubs, their gear, and sometimes their secret formulas? Well, today we're going to be doing the exact same thing, but for my camera gear. I'll give you a full tour of what's in my bag as a beginning filmmaker. Heads up, most of the gear is budget friendly, but it's working for me, and I found a way to make it shine. Let's dive in, starting with the bag itself. There's nothing fancy here. It's just a basic target bag. It's functional, holds everything I need to, and it gets the job done. That being said, it does have a few drawbacks. There's no dedicated laptop pouch, not very much customization, and the tripod strap goes across the main zipper, which means that every time you have to undo it just to get something from the inside pouch. Someday I think I'd like to upgrade to something like the Peter McKinnon Nomadic 35-liter backpack. It looks amazing, but for now the bag does exactly what I need it to do. Alright, so now on to the main gear, the cameras. My primary camera, which is the one I'm shooting on right now, is the Sony FX30. And wow, I'm not gonna lie, I have been loving it. It is a Super 35 sensor, shoots 4K at 120 frames per second, and has this awesome feature that lets you slow down videos in camera. For my B camera, I'm rocking my trusty Panasonic Lumix G7. Yeah, it is a bit older, but it's still great for photos and videos. Perfect for those behind the scenes shots or if I need a second angle. The main difference between the two is that crop factor. The Lumix has a 2x crop factor compared to the Sony's 1.5. And that really does make a big difference when I have to decide what lenses I'm using for each shot. Now, talking about lenses, let's get into those. So for the Sony FX30, I'm using the Surrey Sniper Prime lenses. I currently have the 24mm, the 33mm, and the 56mm. All of them have a super wide f1.2 aperture, which means I can get really nice depth of field and a great bokeh effect. Because of the crop factor, though, of the Super 35 sensor, these act as if it was similar to the 35, 50, and 85 in the full frame sensor. So I'd like to get something a little bit wider sometimes. For the G7, I've got a few options. The Olympus Digital 14-42 f3.5, I believe. I use that for general purposes. I don't like to use zoom lenses because I feel like I get kind of lazy. Instead of framing the shot, I just kind of like zoom in and out. But it gets the job done. I also have a Lumix Prime 25mm. It's a 1.7, so it gets nice depth of field and allows a lot more light in on that smaller sensor. The last one that I have is the Lumix 45 to 150mm. It's f1.4, so it doesn't let as much light in. Makes it difficult in low light situations, but it's great for zooming in on distant subjects. Like I said, in the future, I'd like to get some more wide angle lenses and maybe a couple zoom lenses for the Sony FX30, just so I can broaden the variety of shots that I have. So the next gear on my list is the drone. Currently, I have a budget drone. It is the Potensic Atom 4K. Super budget friendly, but it gets the job done for any of the aerial shots that I do need. It does shoot 4K at 30 frames per second and surprisingly has 90 minutes of flight time. More than enough for any of the projects that I'm doing. If you're looking at an entry-level drone, this one might be worth checking out. In the future, I'd love the DJI Mavic 3 Pro drone with the 3-camera setup. I think those 3 cameras are insane. So for stability, I use the DJI RS3 mini gimbal. It's compact, powerful, and makes my footage way smoother than handheld. In addition to that, I also use a small rig CT10 tripod, which I love for its quick release tabs and the fluid head, which makes panning a breeze in certain situations. So something that I've struggled with lately is actually lighting. And I know that's super key when you're trying to film. Right now, I just have 2 newer LED panel lights. They are adjustable from 3200 to 5600 Kelvin, I believe. They're pretty versatile and kind of let me set up quickly, but I kind of need some better lighting. Audio is just as important, so I kind of carry 2 setups for that. So for wireless, I have the Comica VM or Vimo, C3 Lab mic. It is reliable. It sounds great during interviews and when I have multiple people talking. For my on-camera audio, I've got the Rode Video Micro 2 shotgun mic. It works great for running gun, or if I'm doing outdoor work and I can put a dead cat on there. So when it comes to editing, I have two main setups. I have a custom-built PC, and I have a MacBook Air with that M2 chip. The PC was made for gaming, so it handles heavy editing and rendering, while the MacBook is kind of my portable solution. It is kind of just perfect for editing on the go. And then finally, I have a bunch of accessories, little things that make my job a little bit easier, right? I have a K&F quick release strap for switching between the tripod and handheld, or switching from handheld to the gimbal. I also have an Anker power bank to keep all my devices charged while I'm out. I also have a variety of different filters, UV, polarizing, ND, pretty much for all of my lenses. And on top of that, just like every filmmaker, I have plenty of SD cards and hard drives so I can store everything while I'm filming. So that's what's in my bag as a beginning filmmaker. All right, guys, that's a wrap on today's video. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. It will really help the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications so you don't miss any of the videos during this challenge. I'd love to hear any comments or recommendations that you guys have, so just feel free to drop anything in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.